Okay, so we need to talk about Jesus because I think people are really confused. Jesus isn't just an idea, and he's not just a prophet. He's not just a master. He's not just a consciousness that we attain. Jesus is God, the ultimate creator of the entire universe in the flesh as a human being. Jesus is the epitome of humility and grace. Jesus is so much more than an example that we emulate. He is so much more than a consciousness that we evolve into. We can't simply act like Jesus and become like him. We can't simply try to think like Jesus and become like him. I'll say it again. Jesus is the creator of the universe who humbled himself into human form to come and pay a price that we could never pay. When we try to become like Jesus by changing the way that we act, or when we try to become like Jesus by changing the way that we think or by raising our vibrations, we are doing exactly the opposite of what the creator of the universe did for us. He humbled himself to save us. We cannot elevate ourselves to become like him and save ourselves. We don't have to do anything to be right with God or to become like God. We simply need to accept what Jesus did for us. We need to humble ourselves and know that the work is done, and we can then rest in him. And once we're in that state of rest or that state of ease, the behavior changes and the thought changes and the vibrational changes happen naturally. It's called fruit of the Spirit. Jesus is coming back again, and he's coming back as a human in his human body because he arose from the dead in his human body, and he is right now ascended into heaven at the right hand of the Father in his human body, waiting to return to us in human form, not as a spirit, not as a consciousness, not as an idea. Jesus is coming back in an eternal body that will never die, and he will give us eternal bodies that will never die. The Apostle John told us in 1 John chapter 4 that any spirit that confesses that Jesus Christ came in the flesh is of God. But any spirit that does not confess that Jesus Christ came in the flesh is not of God. It is ultimately important that you understand and that your spirit confesses that Jesus Christ came in the flesh. Remember, Jesus is God in the flesh, and he is still God in the flesh. Right now, there is a man in heaven who is God, and his name is Jesus, and he's coming back the same way that he went up.